Most drivers treat a car battery like a disposable AA. Use it until it dies, then shell out $200 for a new one. But after 19 years in the shop, I can tell you that 3 to 5 years is a lie told by people who don't know how to maintain their gear. In Japan, mechanics treat batteries as precision instruments, often stretching their life to double the industry average. If you're tired of that dreaded click-click on a cold Monday morning, these 13 methods will change how you treat your car forever. Method number 13, tighten the connections. The sneakiest thief in your engine bay isn't a bad alternator, it's high resistance. Think of your battery terminals like a garden hose. If the connection is loose, the water leaks out before it reaches the nozzle. In the Japanese method, we don't wait for the car to struggle. A terminal that can be wiggled by hand is a terminal that is currently killing your battery. Why? Because that tiny gap creates a micro arc every time you start the car. This generates intense heat, stresses the lead posts, and forces your alternator to overwork to compensate for the power drop.
Method number 12, kill corrosion early. That white, blue, or greenish crust on your battery terminals isn't just ugly, it's a silent saboteur. Corrosion happens when acid vapors mix with moisture and attack the metal. It acts like electrical sandpaper, blocking current, weakening charging, and forcing the battery to work harder than it should. Japanese mechanics spot and fix this buildup early before it turns into a real problem. The safest way? Mix a tablespoon of baking soda with a cup of water. Always disconnect the negative terminal first, then the positive. Dab the mixture on the corrosion and watch it fizz like a science experiment. Scrub gently with a dedicated battery brush or an old toothbrush, rinse with a little water, and dry everything thoroughly. For light buildup, a dedicated battery terminal cleaner spray works fast and clean. Some Japanese shops use a careful hot water rinse for fresh corrosion, but be extremely cautious. Near boiling water can crack plastic parts or damage seals if you're not careful. Clean metal is great, but the real secret is making sure corrosion doesn't come back fast. Method number 11, seal the terminals. Cleaning the terminals and then walking away is like brushing your teeth and then eating candy all day. You're just inviting the problem right back. That's why after cleaning, Japanese mechanics always add a protective barrier. A thin layer of dielectric grease is the gold standard. It lets electricity flow while blocking moisture, acid vapor, and air. Petroleum jelly works in a pinch, and there are also dedicated terminal protectant sprays. You don't need a thick claw, but just a light coat on the clean terminals and posts after reconnecting everything. This simple step dramatically slows down future corrosion, keeps resistance low, and helps your battery deliver consistent power. Cleaning fixes today's mess. Sealing protects tomorrow's performance. It's cheap insurance that really works. Method number 10, go easy after startup. Starting your engine is the most violent thing your battery does all day. It's a massive dump of amperage that leaves the internal plates chemically unstable for a few minutes. The biggest mistake I see? People start their car and immediately blast the AC, turn on the heated seats, and plug in 2 iPhones. You're asking a battery that's out of breath to run a marathon. The expert routine? Give the engine 30 seconds to stabilize. Let the alternator's voltage regulator find its footing before you pile on the electrical load. This recovery window allows the initial surface charge to replenish, significantly reducing internal heat and plate warping. Method number 9, check voltage early. A battery doesn't die overnight. It slowly loses strength, and most people only notice when it's too late. Japanese mechanics don't guess, they measure. Grab an inexpensive digital multimeter. With the engine off and the car rested for a few hours, a healthy battery should read around 12.6 volts or higher. 12.4 volts means it's starting to slip. 12.2 volts is a warning sign. Below 12.0 and you're in the danger zone. Sulfation is likely already building up on the plates. Check voltage once a month, especially before winter or long trips. It takes 10 seconds and gives you early warning so you can act instead of reacting to a dead car. Have you checked your battery voltage lately? Drop your reading in the comments. I'd love to see what you're getting. Method 8, stop the short trip damage. Your battery hates lazy driving. If your daily commute is only 5 or 10 minutes, you are slowly murdering your car. every time you start the engine, you pull a loan from the battery. A 5-minute drive doesn't give the alternator enough time to pay back that loan with interest. Over a week of short trips, your battery stays in a state of partial discharge. This leads to acid stratification, where the acid settles at the bottom and beats the lead plates. The fix? Combine your errands. Instead of 5-minute trips, do one 30-minute loop. Your battery needs time to reach its saturation point where it's truly full. Method number 7, take a recharge run. Avoiding short trips is good, but sometimes you need to give your battery a deliberate recovery. The Japanese conditioning drive is simple. Once a week or two, take your car out for a steady 20 to 30-minute run at highway speeds with minimal stops. This lets the alternator fully recharge the battery and helps reverse early reversible sulfation. It's not about redlining the engine, just consistent RPMs that let the charging system do its job properly. If you live in a city with heavy traffic and short hops, this habit becomes even more important. One good drive can make your starts stronger and your battery last noticeably longer. Method number 6, cut the extra load. One of the fastest ways to wear out a battery is making it fight unnecessary loads during startup. Many people shut the car off with the AC, headlights, blower fan, and phone charger still on. Then the next morning, the poor battery has to crank the engine while powering all that stuff at the same time. Before you turn the key off, get in a habit of switching off the big power hogs first. When you start again, let the engine run for a bit before turning everything on. This reduces peak startup stress, helps voltage recover faster, and is especially helpful in cold weather or with older batteries. Method number 5, watch for parasitic drain. Is your battery bleeding overnight? Even when the car is off, modern computers are sipping power. But if a glove box light stays on or a cheap aftermarket dash cam is wired incorrectly, that sip becomes a gulp. If your car feels weak after sitting for just 2 days, you likely have a parasitic drain. You can test this by putting your multimeter in amps mode and pulling fuses one by one. If you find a circuit pulling more than 50 milliamps, you've found your thief. Don't blame the battery for being robbed. Method number 4, keep the battery case clean. Most people think a dirty battery is just cosmetic. They're wrong. Grime, oil, and moisture on top of the battery can actually become conductive. This creates a tracking path where electricity literally leaks across the plastic from the positive post to the negative post. It's a slow, invisible short circuit. Keep the top of the battery bone dry and clean. A clean battery holds its charge. A dirty one sweats it away. Method number 3, lock the battery down. Vibration is the silent killer of lead-acid batteries. Inside that plastic box are thin lead plates suspended in acid. If your battery isn't clamped down tight, every pothole is like a hammer blow to those plates. Over time, the vibration causes the active material to flake off the plates and settle at the bottom, eventually shorting out the cell. If you can move your battery with your hand, your hold-down bracket is loose. Tighten it, but don't crush the case. It should be snug, not strangled. Method number 2, watch the fluid line. If you have a serviceable, non-sealed battery, the electrolyte level is critical. The plates must stay fully submerged. If the level drops too low, exposed plates overheat and sulfate faster. Check the fluid periodically. If low, add only distilled water, never tap water, minerals damage the chemistry, and usually not acid unless you've spilled some. Keeping the internals properly covered protects capacity and lifespan. Method number 1, use a maintenancer when parked. Even when your car sits, small systems keep drawing power. Leave it for more than a week or two and the battery can drop into a sulfated, weakened state. A quality battery maintenancer, also called a trickle charger or smart maintenancer, is the solution. Unlike old school chargers, a good maintenancer monitors voltage and only adds what's needed, preventing overcharge while keeping the battery at optimal levels. This is perfect for weekend cars, seasonal vehicles, or any time your car will sit for extended periods. It's one of the highest ROI habits you can adopt. These 13 steps are the difference between a car that fails you when you need it most and a car that starts every single time for a decade. But listen, battery care is just the beginning. If you think a dead battery is expensive, you haven't seen what happens when people mess up their oil changes. There is one specific mistake drivers make immediately after an oil change that can wipe out your bearings in seconds.